Hi guys, so I'm going to be talking to you guys about tattoos today. I recently just got another one. I already had one on my hip and I just got one on my shoulder. So I'm pretty much just going to answer questions that I think people would have about tattoos. Like when you Google tattoos, the number one question is always, does it hurt? And stuff like that, and people asking does it hurt more here than it does here, and just questions like that, and pretty much just covering all that, covering the aftermath, how to take care of it, just everything, I guess. So first of all, let's show it to you guys. Here, I'll come closer. It is a butterfly, and I don't know if you guys can actually see, if it will focus, but where is it? Right here, there actually still is a piece of scab. Right there, because it actually does, it scabs over, and then the scab will slowly fall off. The whole tattoo was actually all scabbed over last week, but then the scab slowly fell off, so there's just that little piece left. So pretty much I'm just gonna walk you through the whole procedure of me getting it. So pretty much my birthday was the 15th. I just turned 18. I don't know how it is other places, but in Canada a lot of places you do have to be 18. But in some places you can be 16 with an adult. Like my first one, I was almost 17. I was a week away from being 17, so I was still 16, and my mom went with me to sign off the papers. But the place I went to, which is New Moon in Ottawa, you have to be 18 years old. So I went a couple days before my birthday just to kind of price it out, because I actually wanted it for a birthday present for myself, because I've been thinking about getting it for a very long time. And so I was like, hey, what better of a birthday present to myself besides getting myself a tattoo, because I'm finally old enough to just go by myself and do it. So that's what I wanted to do. So I went in a couple days beforehand, and I talked to the tattoo artist, and he told me, he gave me a price, and he said $150, which is actually awesome, because it's full color and shaded, and that's $150. My first one, which I'll put a picture in, yeah, that's on my hip. It's barely anything. It's pretty much just an outline with a bit of color. That was $125. And so to pay an extra $25 and get that on my shoulder, that's actually such a good price. And everyone that has asked me, sorry I keep playing with my bangs. I trimmed them the other day, so they can't fit behind my ears anymore, which is really annoying because I always want my hair to go behind my ears. So it keeps falling, so I'm really sorry if I keep pushing it back, but I'm sorry. Anyway, so a lot of people that I've talked to have been like, oh my god, you only paid $150, that's crazy. So yeah, I think it's a really good price, so I was really happy with it. So he told me the price, I booked my appointment, everything like that. I was really nervous. Even though I had already gotten one, it hurt, my first one, and it was barely anything, so I was really nervous. I went with my boyfriend, which I definitely recommend. Go with someone, because I feel it'd be really awkward to go by yourself. Not awkward, but I don't know, if you're already kind of worried and nervous, you want someone there to comfort you. And me, I was holding on to my boyfriend's hand the whole time, and it was funny because he just wanted to hold my hand nicely like that, but I just kept grabbing his hand and twisting it and squeezing it in all different positions, and he was like, oh my god, calm down. I'm pretty sure I broke his wrist because I was grabbing his hand the whole time. But yeah, so you go in, you talk to them one last time, make sure you're fully you fully want it. He puts the stencil thing on, which obviously it doesn't hurt, it's just a stencil, and then you get into it. So I was sitting on this chair but backwards, so I was straddling the chair. So say the back of the chair is here, I was straddling it, and I was this, and I actually had my head down most of the time because I was trying to relax. So I was sitting like that, which is actually a pretty comfortable position. My first one, I had to lie on my back, and it was a really thin table, so if you moved, you'd fall off of it. So I had to sit a pencil, pretty much, lying straight on this table. It was very uncomfortable, and I feel you definitely want to be comfortable when getting a tattoo, because I don't know, you're already so nervous already, so if you're in a really uncomfortable position, you're gonna be even more uncomfortable, and it's probably gonna hurt more. You want to relax yourself. as much as possible. So I feel like if they put you in an uncomfortable position, definitely speak up and say, like, do you think you can move me? Is it possible? Because, like, I don't know, like, you want to be as comfortable as possible. And another thing is definitely make sure, like, if they want to do something that you don't like, tell them. Like, I don't know, like, if you want, like, I don't know, like a dragonfly and you want it to be, like, brown and yellow, but they're like, oh, well, can I put some green into it? Like, they want to put green into it, but you're like, ew, I don't want green on my tattoo. Like, definitely say so. Because, like, I don't know, like, it's gonna be on your body for the rest of your life, and, like, they won't get mad, like, and if they do, then you probably shouldn't go there, because, you know, if, as a tattoo artist, I think they should be very, very understanding and nice, because, I mean, it's gonna be on your body for the rest of your life, so you definitely want to make sure that it's what you want. Like, me personally, my one on my hip, it's really, really low down, which I don't like. I actually want it to be, like, say this is, like, my, underwear line, I wanted it to be, like, above it, but it's actually sitting, like, in the middle of it, which I don't like, because then, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, when you're wearing a bikini, like, you want people to, like, you want to show it off, right? And, like, half of it's, like, hidden, so it's kind of, like, I don't know, I just don't like it, especially because, like, I want to show it to people, but it's so awkward. Like, when I first got it, I was still in grade 12, and everyone's like, oh, let's see, and you have to, like, pull, like, your pants down to be like, oh, here it is, and everyone's just like, ugh, why is that girl pulling her pants down? So definitely make sure you tell them, because I was kind of too shy. Like, he put the stencil on, and I was like, oh, that's fine, and in my head, I'm like, oh my god, like, what? And, like, this one, I actually wanted, like, more, like, because if you see, it's like, okay, here's my, like, sorry, here's my bra strap, right? Or, like, a tank top or whatever strap. I actually wanted it to be, like, right here, but then he suggested right there. And, I mean, obviously, like, take their suggestions, but if you don't like it, speak up. Like, he suggested there, so I was like, okay, we'll put the stencil on, and I'll look. Because, like, obviously, like, the stencil washes off. So if they put it on a position that you don't like, they can wash it off and move it. Like, it's definitely not an issue that way, so don't feel like, oh my god, they already put the stencil on. Like, no, it's really not an issue, and a lot of times they can actually reuse the stencil. Like, once they put it on your skin, I think it has a couple, like, you can put it on again, because just, like, from the TV shows that I saw, like, I've seen people, like, use the same stencil, because I don't know what it actually is, but, I don't know, it's kind of like a stamp. Like, you can use a stamp a couple times before you have to, like, press it in the ink. But, yeah, so anyway, he suggested there, which I actually like a lot better. I think just the way it is and it's on an angle, I think it does look a lot better there instead of being, like, here. But, you know, I'm not saying don't take their suggestions. Like, obviously, I wouldn't say that. Like, they're a tattoo artist, they know what looks best on your body. Because a lot of times, like, you want it to go nicely with your body. Like, you don't want it to be, like, this really awkward, like, position. But also, if you don't like it, speak up. That's all I'm saying. Like, just don't, I don't know, don't be quiet, because it's your body. So, speak up. So, back to the whole procedure. So, I'm sitting in my chair, I'm about to go, and then he just starts. Like, he starts doing it, and eventually, like, I moved my hand down, because my boyfriend was sitting behind me, so I had my one hand up and my other hand, like, squeezing his hand, and I'm gonna say, it does hurt a lot. I don't want to, like, freak people out, but it hurts. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys and be like, oh, it doesn't hurt at all. Like, it hurts. But I think it depends, because one of my friends says that, like, she has 9 tattoos, and she's like, I fell asleep for every one of them. I'm like, how? Like, how do you fall asleep? But I can kind of understand how, because at some points I was kind of, like, dozing off, but then it would start to hurt again, and I'd be like, oh, God. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, make sure you eat before a tattoo, which I know is kind of like common sense, but just do it, because, like, you're getting needles pricked into you, which does, like, it does shock your system, so you definitely want your blood sugar to be high. So, just something that I didn't mention. But anyway, so I was starting to kind of, like, fall asleep, but then it would start to hurt again. But one good thing is that after a while, your body kind of, like, numbs it out, because your body's kind of like, wow, this really, really hurts. We should, like, numb it out. Like, I don't know, like, your body's smart, like, it likes to protect itself. So, it does kind of start to numb, and plus the fact that it gets, like, swollen, so, which also numbs it as well. But one thing that I didn't like is he did the outline first, so, like, all the black bits, like, even, like, all this, sorry, my hair, so even, like, all this, where it is, like, a lot of black, like, he did all that at once, and then he left the color to the very end. So, but he wanted a break, so because he had to go to the washroom, so he's like, can I have a break? And I was like, yeah, no problem. But that, like, 10 minutes that he was gone, it started to actually, like, the feeling came back, because when he asked for the break, it was like, numb, but then in that 10 minutes, since he wasn't touching it, wasn't doing anything, I was just kind of walking around, trying to, like, relax again. All the feeling came back, so when he went back to work, it was like, oh my god. And I don't know why, white ink hurts so bad. And he explained it to me. I think I wasn't really listening because I was too busy, like, screaming and cursing in my head. But for some reason, white ink hurts a lot more. I don't really know why. He said it's a different chemical. Boy, does it ever, because it does have some white ink in the little dots. Sorry, awkward position, but in the little, like, dots, it's white ink, and in some of the shading, it's white ink. Boy, does it hurt. Like, but I actually, like, it's not excruciating. Like, I kept my cool. Like, I was just kind of sitting there, like, you know, relaxing. If anything, I'd kind of be like, like, make a face. But there was never, like, a time where I was like, oh my god, stop. Or, like, I flinched or I cried. Like, I didn't cry or anything. That sounds funny. I didn't cry or anything. But no, like, I didn't cry, anything like that. I just, like, it wasn't overwhelmingly painful. It was just, like, it was enough pain that it's like, this hurts. But not too much that it's like, oh my god, I can't stand it type thing. But that's just my opinion. Like, you could get a tattoo and be like, oh my god, it didn't hurt at all. But I don't know, you could get a tattoo and be like, oh my god, you're lying, it hurts so badly. Like, I actually know someone, my aunt's friend, she has a blue dot on her ankle because she went to get dolphins, and she, like, she thought it hurt way too much, so she told him to stop, so she has a blue dot, which I found kind of, like, odd because she has 2 kids, so you would think having the 2 kids would hurt a lot more, but apparently not. But anyway, one thing that my first tattoo artist told me, the one on my hip, is he said that the first 2 minutes are the worst because your body will adjust to it. Like, the first 2 minutes, it kills, but then your body kind of, like, adjusts to it and goes like, okay, this really hurts. I've never felt this before. Like, if you've never gotten a tattoo. Okay, let's, you know, numb it out. Let's do whatever we can to not make it hurt so much. Because obviously, like, your body doesn't like to be in pain. So it still does hurt, but not as much. The first 2 minutes are the worst, which he told me, which I definitely agree with. Like, the first 2 minutes are kind of like, oh my god. But then after that, like, it kind of does, like, it's not as bad. And plus, sorry. Plus, you're more relaxed. Like, because I feel like the anticipation is the worst. Like, I feel like the anticipation is worse than the actual tattoo itself, because you're sitting there and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna hurt. And I was like that too, and he was like, oh, is this your first tattoo? I was like, no, I already have one. He just looked at me and was like, really? I was like, yeah, I don't know why I'm so nervous. Like, I was like, oh my god, oh, this is gonna hurt so bad. And you get yourself, like, so worked up, and then when they actually go to do it, and you're like, oh, that didn't really hurt. So I feel like you just need to keep yourself calm. Think of happy thoughts, because me personally, when I was thinking about other things, it didn't hurt as bad. And one thing you have to remember is to breathe. Like, you don't realize that you forget to breathe, and then you're like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you don't realize that you're not breathing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, like, I haven't breathed for a while. So you just need to make sure, just do, like, really calm, like, you know, in and out breaths. Like, don't be like, but also don't be like, just do, like, calm, like, in and out, how you would breathe normally. Think about something happy, because like, for me, when I was thinking about other things, it didn't hurt as bad. When it started to hurt bad is when I started thinking about it, because then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, there's needles in me, and, like, it started to hurt more because I was thinking about it. So it hurt. It wasn't excruciating, but it was pain. So, the tattoo's done. It took an hour and 25 minutes, I want to say. I was staring at the clock the whole time because there's, like, a little clock radio over there, so I was, like, sitting there, like, watching it, which it went by very, very fast. Like, when he first told me that it would take an hour, I was like, oh my god, an hour? Like, youch. But it went by very, very fast. Like, at least for me, like, my boyfriend said that it went by super slow. But that's just because he was just sitting there doing nothing, where I was actually getting the tattoo, so I was, like, all relaxed and, like, trying to be calm. Or at some points I was like, oh my god, this hurts so freaking bad, stop! In my head, obviously. But yeah, so it's done now. He puts the bandage on. So, yeah, which was actually very annoying because the bandage was huge. So like it went all across, like from here to like there. And if you like look, like this is like where you move your arm. Like it kept moving around, which was very annoying. I'm really glad I kept it on for 4 hours and then I took it off. When I took it off, there was a lot of like excess ink. So you take it off, you get in the shower. Oh yeah, afterwards it hurt like HE double hockey sticks. Let me tell you, it hurt, to me, it hurt a lot more afterwards than during. Like, right afterwards, I got some Tylenol, extra strength, and I took 2. Because, it hurt so bad. But one thing, a lot of people will want to take, like, Tylenol or something beforehand. Don't take it beforehand, because it thins your blood, and that will just make you bleed, like, even more. So, don't do it. So afterwards, I went to the drugstore. I got some Vaseline extra strength, non-fragrance, non-greasy lotion. Pretty much what he said is it can't have dyes, it can't have smell to it. So I got this. It's like just plain Vaseline, because you're supposed to apply it twice a day. So I got that, and I got some Tylenol. I popped the Tylenol. It actually worked right away. Well, not right away, like maybe 10 minutes, and then the pain went away, which was like, thank God, because it hurt so bad afterwards. And then, okay, I get home, I take off the bandage, and there's a lot of excess ink, so I got in the shower and I like wiped it off because I didn't want it to get all over my clothes and stuff, and it hurt really, really, really bad. Like, the bandage actually makes it feel good, because the bandage is like really, really, really like puffy, and like it feels like you're on like a cloud, and then you take it off and it actually like, I think the fact that it's hitting the air is what makes it hurt so bad. It hurt for a while. Like, I think it hurt up until Thursday of like last week. So that's a long time. That's like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's 5 days after that it still hurt. And it pretty much felt like a really bad sunburn. Like at the very beginning, like Monday, Tuesday, it felt like a bad scab, and then after that it felt like a sunburn, and it killed. Like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure all my family and friends like hated me because I kept complaining about it, and they're like, shut up, like you chose to get it. But I'd be like, I know, but it hurts. Like, it's just really annoying. I don't know, because like you don't realize like how much you move your shoulder until there's something painful on it, and every time you're moving you're like, oh my god. But yeah, and as I said, it does scab, so I think maybe Monday is when it scabbed. Like the full thing just scabbed right over, like but one thing is, do not pick your scabs. Don't do it, because if you pick your scab, you can actually like remove the ink from your skin, because it's settling into your skin. So if you pull the scab off, not only will it kill, but it will actually remove color with it. So don't do that. My friend actually did that. Thank God I didn't. I was actually really freaked out because when I was in the shower last week, I could feel some of the scab ripped off. Like, it doesn't hurt when it falls off on its own, but like when it rips off, it hurts, and like the water hit it and it actually like ripped off, and I was like, ah, like it really hurt. And I was like, oh my god. Like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, thank God, like, it didn't rip any of the ink off. But you need to be very, very careful with it, because it's the same as, like, any injury. Like, if you think about it, like, you're getting needles, like, into your skin. So you need to just, like, be careful with yourself and just treat it nicely. Always, always, always wash your hands. Like, I know people might comment and be like, why are you touching it? But my hands are clean, I promise. Like, I wouldn't just be, like, touching it if my hands were, like, disgusting. Because you don't want to get an infection, first of all. Oh, speaking of infections, well, not infections, but like, eat afterwards as well, because both of my tattoos, I actually felt extremely sick afterwards. And I think it's just because of my blood sugar, because as soon as I ate, I felt better. Like, my first one, I needed to stop at a gas station to get a Reese's Pieces bar, because I was like, so like, just drained. And this one too as well. Like, me and my boyfriend, we went over to our friend's house afterwards, and then we went to leave, and I just felt so nauseous. Like, I wanted to puke. Like, my stomach hurt so bad. Like, I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, like, what if I'm having some like reaction to the ink? Like, I was freaking out. There's actually a hospital across the road from from the friend's house that we went to. My boyfriend was like, do you want me to take you there? And I was like, okay, let's just be calm. And of course, you know, what's the first thing you do when you start feeling sick? Get on Google. Feeling lightheaded after tattoo. And then it said to eat, and then I remembered, oh yeah, my first one, I was feeling really weak afterwards as well. And I didn't, and then I ate and I felt better. So, of course, I have Maltesers in my bag, because who doesn't carry around a bag of Maltesers? So I started eating them and I felt a lot better afterwards. So definitely make sure you eat afterwards too, because I know it's very stressed to eat beforehand, but eat afterwards, because it is very draining on your body, especially because, like, you don't lose a ton of blood, but you lose enough blood, and, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, actually know, like, the biological reasoning for it, but, like, getting a bunch of needles in your skin, all I actually know is it does drain you, so make sure you eat. Overall, I am really glad that I got my tattoo. I love it. I'll actually show you a photo of what I actually wanted. So that's what I actually wanted. I didn't get the quote because when I originally talked to him, we kind of had a miscommunication. Like, I thought he knew that I wanted the quote, but he didn't. So it'd be more money, and I didn't actually have more money on me. So when well, I have to wait for it to heal, obviously. But at some point, I want to get that quote, like, on the wings. Like, kind of like, to be beautiful is to be yourself. Like, just, like, along the wings, like, on an angle. Because I think that would look, like, really, really nice. But, yeah. So I'm really, really glad I got it. I really like his design. I really, really like it. I'm really glad I got it. The pain was definitely worth it. It did hurt for a good, like, week afterwards, but it's definitely worth it. Like, if you think about it, like, you're gonna have it on your body for the rest of your life, so if you have to go through a week of pain, I mean, that's how it is. It's kind of like your badge of honor. It's like, you have the tattoo and it's like, yep, I went through, like, the pain to get it. Anyway, I'm really sorry this is, like, a really, really, really long video. I'm definitely gonna edit the heck out of it because I ramble really bad. So I'm sorry for that, but anyway, I hope you guys have a really awesome night. And yeah, thank you guys.